Okay, hi guys. So it's been a while since I did my gym tour video, and like I said in that video, I'm going to be doing a few reviews over time of some of the equipment I've got. So today I thought what better to start with than the biggest piece of my gym, which is the BodyMax CF820 Functional Trainer. So first off, I'll show you what came with it, like the attachments and so on. Then I'll get into a bit more of the functionality about it, what I like about it, what I don't like, price, and then I'll just wrap it all up for you. So as far as equipment goes, it comes with two of these plastic handles. Don't really use these, I'll show you why in a minute. I've got some extra equipment when I ordered this. But yeah, pretty sturdy, pretty strong. I mean, I had some old plastic ones on another machine I had, which literally just snapped. It had the rubber, they had like the foam over the top, but the plastic underneath just snapped. My hand was just crushed and it was pretty horrible, but these do feel sturdy. I personally can't tell you how strong these are, how much weight they've withstood on this because I haven't used them, like I said. But yeah, they definitely feel sturdy, and it's a nice handle to come with it. The rest is just a few straps. This one I believe is just to go around your leg to do kickbacks or anything like that. You know, just velcro it around, hook it on, and good to go. I've got a couple more straps here. So these, primarily I use them for leg raises. If I want to do cable leg raises, just put these, loop these over my foot, and then obviously do a few leg raises with it. So yeah, they're great, they come with it. And the final piece is just another one of these. I believe there was two of these, don't quote me on that, but again, this is probably a more appropriate kickback. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what this one's for now that I've seen this. But yeah, with two of these, two of them, two of these, and I believe one of these, maybe two, I don't know. But yeah, you've got two different types of leg attachments, two different handles, and then an odd piece that, I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty good equipment to come with it. It's got all you need really. It also comes with a nice metal pole. Can be used for chest press, shoulder press, deadlifts, calf raises, anything like that on this machine. It's got one of these hooks at each end. And yeah, pretty good, pretty sturdy. Unique exercise for this, which is actually advertised with Rob Riches in the advert video, promo video I saw for this piece of equipment before I got it, was to hook up just one end, grab it like this, and then do an oblique twist. Just a random little exercise that most machines don't really allow you to do because a lot of times they don't have the attachment at the end here. It's just standard bar with the attachment in the middle. So yeah, that's a good little ab exercise if you want to try that. But yeah, that's the equipment that came with it. Now let's move on to some of the equipment I got that has actually been a great use in the machine. Okay, so these are the pieces I've got for the machine. So you've got a wide grip, a nice solid sturdy metal bar, wide neutral grip rows or just standard supinated or pronated rows on that bar there. These two metal handles, very useful because although I said the other ones were very strong, which I found they look like, they feel like they are, but these obviously metal, square, nice runner in the middle, works great on the machine for any exercise that requires handles. So yeah, definitely recommend upgrading to them. They're just £7 each or something from Amazon. A nice V-bar for rows, and a tricep slash bicep extension slash curl sort of V-bar. So yeah, that's what I got with it. Okay, so as I said, now I've had a few weeks to try this out. I think it's time that I gave you a proper review. So there's a couple of things. Generally it's a really good piece of equipment. I use it a lot for a lot of things. Works great. It goes up to 72 kg each side, 155 pounds I think that is. So if you're hooking up the straight bar to both of them, you've got 144 kg, 310 pounds or something. So you're good to go for pretty much any exercise that's going to require both. When it comes to using just one stack though, I found that it could use a bit more weight on tricep extensions. That was the only exercise I really have a problem with. Oh, and rows as well. You could definitely do with a few more plates on rows, but I guess they're pretty generic plates. You could always upgrade, get a few more, add the weight to that. So maybe I'll do that, or at least look into that in the next few weeks. But yeah, it functions great. The amount of weight is not really a problem. Like I said, you can add it, so that's not really a big issue for me. One thing that was quite annoying, there's no numbers on them, which I think I mentioned in the gym tour video, but again that's something you can easily fix by just buying some online. It's not too much, bit of an inconvenience, but it's not too much of a problem. Okay, so the next thing I have a little bit of a problem with is the pulleys. So I know it's a generic sort of functionality for this kind of thing, and I mean it works fine. Only thing is, the gaps down the sides, you probably can't see them here, but if you're pulling out and you go a little bit too far to the side, so maybe when you're doing a chest fly or something, where you're trying to pull them together to get you in the starting position, you're going to be pulling the pulleys this way, and it's quite easy and quite common for this little part of the cable to just fall off and drop in this little gap here instead of in the middle of the runner. So that's done a little bit of damage to the cable itself, and obviously it's a pain in the ass to try and get back in the runners, especially if you're trying to do a set. You're halfway through gym, you're tired, you want it to work. But that being said, it is kind of the user's fault as well, myself. If you just take a bit more care, a bit more time to take it out the right way, anywhere that it's on its pivot, it's fine to pull it out, but if you're just pulling it in for chest, obviously it's locked out here, so it's gonna get stuck in there. So yeah, not a big problem. Again, just something to keep an eye out for if you are going to get this piece of equipment. Just make sure, whichever way you're pulling it, the pulley runner here is able to go the full way round and doesn't lock out before it gets to where you need to pull it. So yeah, that's the second little issue, nothing too big. Now on to the next one. This is probably the most annoying part about this machine, and it's not really anything to do with the user, in my opinion. Maybe some of these screws could be done up a little tighter. That's something I need to look into, but I have tried and haven't had much success. So I'll get into that now, show you what I mean. Okay, so the next issue is to do with the pole here that obviously goes down the middle of the blocks and locks them in place to lift the weight. And what I said before about maybe it's the screws not being tight enough. See, this bit here wobbles, and I have tried doing this screw up quite tight, it still seems to wobble. So what happens is, if it's normally only if it's on a lightweight, because this has a lot more mobility when it is, whereas if you've got like 4 or 5 plates on there as well, it's going to stabilise it and keep it in a nice solid block, which works fine. Anything above 35 pounds or 3 plates seems to work fine. It's when it's 2, 1 or none, just the 5 pound on its own, that it really starts to cause a problem. So there's 2 things that happen. It's probably not going to do it now because I'm trying to show you, but where it's pivoting like this, halfway through a rep, you find sometimes it gets wedged like that, and it just rubs and rubs. So when you're, say again, I'll use the chest fly example, you're halfway through, and it kind of gets stuck one side, and that pulls you off balance, and you know, you could cause injury. I'm probably making it sound worse than it is. It's not that big of an issue, just a little bit annoying sometimes. And the other thing is, where this pole meets the hole, again because it's pivoting, the pole's pivoting as well, when you're doing lightweight, yeah, it's not happening now because I'm showing you, that's probably why. But when you're doing a lightweight, it does tend to wiggle around. See how wibbly that is? And then it'll come down, get stuck there, and then halfway done rep, you've still got all of this distance to go until you're back at the bottom of the rep and it's stuck. You've got to go and then pull it out again, line it up and let it go down. So yeah, that's the main issue I have with this. Like I said, that only really becomes a problem when you're doing lightweight, so 15, 25 pounds. Anything above that is pretty much fine. So yeah, maybe it's me being stupid, maybe I've got to just sit down and have a bit of time tightening all this up, making sure it's all in place properly. But if not, that is the biggest issue I would call up on this piece. But apart from that, very, very good. It's been great for chest flyers. As you can tell, I've used the example quite a lot in this video, so you can probably imagine I do them quite a lot on this machine. Tricep extensions, bicep curls, rows, like I said, could have a bit more weight to it, but the general functionality of it is great. Just to summarise, the three main problems I found were the pulley coming out of the runner. It's quite annoying, but if you're aware of it and you're making sure you're pulling the pulley the right way each time, you should be able to avoid it quite nicely. The wibbling of that and getting it stuck on the poles, maybe a little bit WD-40 on here, be alright. Again, maybe some tightening could sort out that problem. That's problem number 2. Problem number 3 is pretty much the same, it's just when this hits. Not really see how you can avoid that if you're on just 5-10 pounds, to be honest. It seems to have that problem quite a lot, excuse me. But that is pretty much it. It's the only problems I've really had with it. Been absolutely fine apart from that. You can find it on Amazon for £900, I think. That's the cheapest I found it at the time, at least. But yeah, I'll just give you a quick tour around it in case you're watching this because you're interested in buying one of these.